Well, the polity or the political dispensation leading up to 2015 has begun already, and some of those news reports that have, seemingly been swept on the carpet have suddenly be resurrected again. Hashtag Taraba State. Looking at developments in Taraba State this morning is Dr. Kabiru Mato. He's a political scientist, and we're glad to have you join us this morning. Good morning.
Thank you.
Well, a whole lot has been happening, and we have seen, for instance, the ruling party endorsing the president as its sole candidate for the 2015 elections, and so many other states, especially in states where the incumbents will be seeking re-election, they've also started. Now, last week, to be precise, Taraba came back to the front pages, and everyone has been speaking about that unfortunate incident which the governor is going through now, leaving a lot to ask the big question: what is happening within the polity in Taraba State?
Well, thank you very much, Suleiman. I think the case in Taraba State, well, let me begin by first of all thanking you for inviting me to this program. I'm really excited because it clearly shows the concern, that the Nigerian press has over the development in the Nigerian polity, and it's my view that to build a viral democracy is a collective responsibility. If everybody sits back and watch the political class, play around, then obviously we are going to continue to face, gargantuan problems to the extent that we are unable to get to where we are supposed to get to. The Taraba issue, back to your question, in my view, is one of the most unfortunate political scenarios that we have faced in Nigeria between 1999 and date. Unfortunate in the sense that this is a case, similar to that occurred, between 2009 and 2010 with the late President Umar Yar'adua when he was indisposed, and a group of people within his government and perhaps domestic cabinet thought that it was their responsibility to shield the true status of the president from the rest of the nation. And you remember very clearly how tumultuous that situation was. We remember how, the entire polity was dramatically heated up until the entire nation rose to the occasion, thereby bringing about what is today referred to as a new lexicon in Nigerian democracy, that is the doctrine of necessity, which saw the ascendancy of the current president from vice president to acting president, and subsequently when President Yar'adua died, he was sworn in as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In Taraba State, it's not any different because we all are aware of the unfortunate air crash which, the governor of the state, Danbaba Suntai, was involved in. And we're also grateful to God that he saved his life, he saved the lives of, all other members, of his entourage. But from that time to date, which I understand is about 22, 23 months, a lot of, political intrigues, I will say, have been going on. We all are sympathetic to the cause of, to the fate of the governor. It's human, to feel sorry for your fellow human being when he's involved in such a tragedy. But it soon became more or less, a political tool, that certain individuals within the political establishment, both inside and outside of Taraba, could easily cash on and capitalize on to continue to hold the state to ransom. In complete disregard of the constitutional provision that has clearly stipulated, what should be done in situations like that. I want to think that the Taraba episode now was reinvigorated or was rejuvenated basically because of the recent attempt by the same group of people, to bring him back and then act behind him. To make the nation feel as if, the gentleman is in good health and is in good capacity to provide leadership over his state. And I think this is unfortunate, and I'm very happy that millions of Nigerians are rising to the occasion. And even the Taraba State House of Assembly itself seems to be, on the constitutional, procedure of, doing what it is supposed to do when a nation or when a unit within the nation find itself in this type of
situation. I think we'll look at the doctrine of necessity again, which you just mentioned, and see how we can link what happened during the late President Yar'adua's period to what we have now. But again, it's almost 2 years. October the 12th, 2012 was when that very unfortunate incident happened, the plane crash. And by October this year, it will be 2 years. But a lot of people will say the administration in Taraba State has been going on smoothly because, well, it doesn't seem as if the administration has, well, collapsed totally. So if you look at it, going back and forth, some of the timeline of when he went to the hospital and back to the country and gone again and all of that, well, some individuals have been so well in charge that everyone is hoping that, well, they should just bury all of this agitation that they have tried to resurrect in a couple of days.
Yeah, you see, the difference between the doctrine of necessity and what you have to do is that as a result of the constitutional lacuna that existed during the Yar'adua saga, which resulted in the second amendment of the 1999 Constitution to the effect that it was clearly inserted in the Constitution that in the event that a president or a governor is indisposed or is out of his station for a period of 3 weeks without transmitting power to his deputy, automatically the State House of Assembly or the National Assembly shall define him as an acting president or an acting governor. So that has in one way solved one aspect of the problem. Now the problem here in Taraba is that immediately Governor Suntai was involved in that crash. 3 weeks later, the Taraba State House of Assembly met and decided that the deputy governor shall act as the governor of Taraba State. And he's been acting, and the business of governance, I understand, has been going on smoothly in the state. Unless, of course, at intervals such as the one we're in now, when certain individuals that feel perhaps threatened by the fact that the acting governor is taking decisions and full executive decisions, and perhaps for political reasons. I remember, Suleiman, 2015 is around the corner. There are a lot of vested interests, people wishing to deploy their political skills, and people who probably are of the view that the fact that an acting governor sits there restricts them or diminishes the possibilities of the opportunities that they are going to have in order perhaps to become governors, or the position that they have always had in the allocation of the scarce resources of the tribal state. So these are some of the issues, in my view, that periodically and intermittently, will continue to heat up the polity, unless, of course, if the matter is determined. As you rightly said, if I were in Taraba, or if I were a friend of Danbaba Suntai or a member of his family, I would certainly be very aggrieved with the way and manner these individuals have been tormenting this person that is visibly very, very indisposed.
Torment?
For purpose, tormenting. Bringing him to the face of public opinion. Did you not watch him when they returned him to Abuja sometimes last week? It didn't look well at all. If you said you like somebody, you like an individual, he's your friend, he's a member of your family, it is my sincere belief that you should not expose him to such political ridicule. Because the moment he is fit, nobody needs to reintroduce him to anybody. Nobody needs to. He has that constitutional responsibility. He has that power vested in him because he is democratically elected by the good people of Taraba State as their governor. And so immediately he is in good physical and mental health. Nobody introduces him again. It is not an issue of politics, it's not an issue of fanfare. He takes over the administration of his state. But all this, moving around the corner that we see certain people do in...
Sorry, Mark, but you're a political scientist.
Yes, sir.
I would have thought that you would say, well, that is normal in politics. When people try to, protect their own interest, and how well they go about that, it doesn't really matter now, but it's all about their interests, and that's it seems that they're doing.
It does, Suleiman. I don't belong to the class of political science or Nigerians who believe, or people generally across the globe who believe that politics is an empty vessel. You understand that if they call you a politician, what it simply means is that you are a liar. Whatever comes out of you is certainly not the truth, but simply because you desire to steal something from the individuals. Okay, that's not my own idea of politics, and that's not what I also profess as a student of political science. The truth of the matter is that politics, democracy are all about attitude. If you don't have the right attitude of mind to practice democracy and politics in the right perspective, you will continue to go down the drain. And I think this is the problem that we are facing in Nigeria today. A few years ago when the president was indisposed and nobody knew actually what he was, including his vice, the rest of the nation, everybody stood up. And a lot of us rose in high volumes to accuse the family and those that we call cabal, reminding them that a president of the Federal Republic is not a family man. He's a president of Nigeria, and every Nigerian desired to know his true state of health. And I think similarly is the case here in Taraba State. So if you think you are going to use an indisposed personality simply for the purposes of achieving your selfish political ends, in my view, it is the most immoral, it is the most apolitical, and it is the most disgraceful thing that you can have within any political setting.
But we haven't